Ba-na-na-na. Hello heroes, what's going on? GamingNavi here, and my fucking everything looks awful right now. So let me just fucking try and fix a few of my fucking tabs, because I'm stupid. Today we're gonna be doing another stream that I've been waiting to do for a long time. There. So for those of you who are somewhat new to the channel, back when I stream on YouTube, I did some reaction streams to one of my friend CloudConnections video series of him and his brother ranking like every Pokemon from a specific generation, as he gave me his blessing to do so. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this because it's fun content. And today, well, a week ago, he uploaded his Gen 6 Pokemon ranking video, and we're gonna be doing a reaction to that. So let's have some fun. Hey, just click the thing. There we go. I've got everything all set up and ready. I hope all my sound set. I'm actually move Streamlabs over temporarily over to this window so I can make sure the audios all sound good. Move in a way that it doesn't block my chat though, because I need to see all y'all. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh wait.
Rate some Pokemon,
there we go.
But this time, it's in 3D.
3D.
Yep, we've officially
Hello,
entered the
Quinn.
3D era of Pokemon games, as the developers finally transitioned
Hi,
away
Raiju.
from
I hope you're having a great
sprite-based
day.
games and never looked back.
Raiju
Pokemon
Nin.
X and Y took advantage of the 3DS hardware to finally give our favorite critters an
mug
extra
filled with Mountain
dimension.
Dew.
And
Let's
with
go.
that extra dimension, you'd imagine the new Pokemon for this generation would be designed with 3D models in mind.
But whether they designed them this way or not, we're here to judge them nevertheless. If you've
Of
been
course
following this series so far,
Fucking
you know the
goddammit.
rules by now.
Of course they put up Klefki, one of the most hated Pokemon this generation, over Dripson, who's like super critical of everything. Okay, come on. Let's stop delaying. Let's
Creating
go.
all 122 new Pokemon
Okay,
from
just
this
call me Lynn.
generation.
Okay, Lynn.
This includes 72
I hope
new
you have-
features
I hope you
and
two are having a
50
great
Mega
day.
Evolutions across both X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, all of which are getting their own ratings on a scale from 1 to 10 based on their design, uniqueness, and usefulness in battle. Now, we know that Groudon and Kyogre technically don't have Mega Evolutions, but Primal Reversion, and we know that those aren't the same thing. For the purposes of this video, it's just easier for us to classify them as a Mega. So with that out of the way, let's get to the ratings.
Yes, let's do it. Hi, Senpai. Pokemon time. Yes, time to rank Pokemon. And time to criticize people for having opinions that are different than ours.
Despite not having a stupendous design, I can't hate Chespin just because it's so dang cute. He's got a simple but nondescript shape that's maybe a little abstract, but I think it works for the most part.
I agree with Cloud on this one. Like, that is... He is definitely... I think I might be a bit more lenient on Chespin, give it an 8, because it's just a cute little buddy. Okay, you see that little face, and you're just like, you know what? I want to hug the ever-loving shit out of you. Okay, this guy is like Kirby. Chespin is shaped like a friend. I may not pick Chespin, like, ever, but god damn it, Chespin is fucking amazing.
Chespin is pretty alright.
God damn it,
Not an
Dripson.
amazing starter, but not a bad pick either.
It's a bit sad that
This
we didn't
looks
get
like
Metroid
Chespin-
news during Direct, but other than that, it's been good so far. Yeah, that is a bit of a shame. Want me to insult them in Portuguese every time I say something stupid? Go ahead. Go ahead, Senpai. Milo. What the fuck? What are you doing? My cat is being strangely affectionate with me today. Which is funny because this cat hates me. He's been doing but causing nothing but a mess for me over the last couple days, haven't you? Haven't you? Don't you go sniffing my foot, you little shit. This is not time for being cute. You're in trouble. Okay, yeah, Quilladin. I actually don't like Quilladin at all. Like, 5 out of 10, I don't like Quilladin.
His older brother who's more of a jerk, and being the older brother myself, I semi-relate to Quilladin, even if it's not that great.
I don't know, he's just kinda round. Not really a fan of Quilladin.
And I guess
Okay. Cloud's giving him a 5. I actually love Chestnut. Chestnut is fucking cool. Alright? Juggernaut, big beefy tank boy. Objectively, from what I understand, he's horrible as a Pokemon, but I love that design, so I'm gonna give it a 7. I love Chestnut. Fucking Battle Royale F-Zero. Okay, I'm actually hyped for that, because, like, I wanted more F-Zero content, and the idea of racing F-Zero against a bunch of other people didn't sound like a horrible idea. So, unpopular opinion, I'm actually excited for that, and when I'm done streaming, I'm gonna go download that and go play it for a little bit.
this would be Chespin's dad? I don't mind that the colors are radically different, but in my opinion, Chestnut looks pretty bland.
I used to not really be a fan of Chestnut,
Based Dribson. Rare Dribson W.
but its design has really grown on me over the years. I think it's the start of my XY nostalgia.
What I like most about
I love foxes. They are one of my favorite animals ever. And when I saw that Gen 6 was giving us a fox Pokemon to start off with, I was already sold on it. Like, normally I'd pick the fire type in general, with the exception being, like, Gen 5 and Gen 3. But when I saw Fennekin, I was like, fucking nothing's gonna stop me. I want that goddamn fox. Like, I give that thing a 9. I love Fennekin. It is so damn cute. I love it. And you can bet that when I got the ability to use Pokemon on me, I did nothing but stop and pet my Fennekin. Okay, there's probably a better way I could have worded that. I did nothing but pet Fennekin for like hours on end because I loved my little fox.
Fennekin is that the red and orange doesn't dominate the design this time. That's been a trait of all the other fire starters except for Cyndaquil, and it makes this one stand out. Plus, points for cuteness.
Yes.
Fennekin is pretty cute. Again, not stellar, but
Milo,
good nonetheless.
This might be the first middle starter so far that, at least for me, translates and upscales the first evolution flawlessly.
Yeah, I will agree. Like, Braixen is a bit... I feel like Braixen is still less than the first and final form of this, but I feel like it's not horrible. I like it. It's a 7 for me. Like, I don't think I'd give it an 8, but it's nice. It does bridge that gap between, you know, Fennekin to Delphox pretty well, though.
Not in the sense that it's a better Pokemon, but more that it looks exactly like an older Fennekin. And I like that.
Nope, not a fan.
And common Dribson L.
What's with the stick in the tail?
I like the...
I love Delphox. Like, it's not as good as Fennekin, but like an absolute 8 out of 10. I love you, Delphox. It was absolutely my favorite Pokemon on my team in my initial Gen 6 playthrough, and I still love it. To this day, I'll pick Delphox. I'll make sure I get a Delphox on my team if I can.
idea, but I think the design of
You, Pokemon? Lame. CloudConnections. Yeah, screw this CloudConnection guy. Why are you watching him? Let's go watch some superior content. like Lupin the Third.
Delphox is a bit
I have a feeling you wouldn't complain against that idea, though.
much. I think the fur pattern does it in for me.
Once again, I wasn't really a fan of this Pokemon until recently. It does fix a lot of the issues I have with Braixen.
I'm torn on Froakie.
Okay, so farther Cloudfish up. I just want to make one little comment about the Froakie evolution. Like, objectively, I'm not the biggest fan of Froakie's evolution, but compared to the others, I think Froakie has like consistent quality between them all. Like, I did not like Quilladin, and Braixen, while I still liked, was a bit less than the other two. I feel like Froakie is the evolution that like kept getting better with every form. Anyway, Froakie's a 7 out of 10.
It's not awful, but doesn't really appeal to me.
Milo,
While I
fuck
really
off.
love the Froakie line, I do think that this is another generation where there is no real bad starter choice.
Oh
Yep.
God, what happened here?
It grew. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just a bigger Froakie. I'm gonna give it like a 7. I don't hate it. I just like have nothing else to say on it.
I've been overall very kind to the starter Pokemon across the entire series, but Frogadier gets no love from me.
I'm not huge on this design, but it's the least bad of the middle starter
It grew into a loser. Oh, come on. Frogadier is not that bad.
evolutions.
I kinda like Greninja.
Okay. Greninja I give an 8. But if I'm gonna say anything negative, is why is its scarf now its tongue? Like, it had bubbles around its neck and such in the last two forms. What happened to those? Why don't we have the bubbles anymore? Why did it have to use its tongue as its own scarf? Plus, that seems very counterintuitive and like a bad idea.
But again, it's just not really for me. I'm sure it's a good Pokemon and all.
Now it
You
entered its
don't get
weeb
into
phase.
Smash Brothers for nothing, but it's not my cup
True.
of tea.
Naruto
But points for
running
being far
motherfucker.
better than Frogadier, and I also might prefer Ash Greninja just because it brings in that anime protagonist energy.
Yep.
This is an amazing design for a Pokemon, and it's obvious why this made it into Smash Brothers. I prefer regular Greninja. Ash Greninja is just a bit too much for me.
Making a bunch
I like bunnies. Bunnies are cute. And Bunnelby is adorable. I don't really have anything negative to say. When it comes to the Route 1 normal types that we get, I think Bunnelby is actually on the nicer side of them. Like, I wouldn't say it's greater than Zigzagoon, But I'm a big fan, but I don't mind Bunnelby. Better than, friggin' Patrat and, better than Bidoof. There we go. I don't know why I was struggling to remember Bidoof. They are not unique, though, so fuck them. Okay, you know what? You're right. For that reason alone, Bunnelby is now a fucking 1 out of 10. 6
Money for the Route 1
7 out of
normal
10.
type is a great idea, and Bunnelby is pretty solid, even if it isn't extravagant in any way.
It's a kinda cute little bunny. Nothing special about it, really.
The ears
I'm not a fan of Diggersby. It's definitely like a 4 out of 10 for me. I don't know. It doesn't vibe with me anymore. It's not the big chungus, it's a big fat fuck thing now. It's I don't know. It's weird. Although again, like, ground typing is nice.
for digging are a nice touch, but I really don't care for Diggersby.
Really not a huge fan of this design. It's still pretty good as an early route catch,
Big
though.
fungus.
Getting a wee bit...
I like Fletchling. Fletchling is a 6 out of 10. It's not much special, but I like it. It's just a cute little burb. Alright? It is nice.
Sick of the generic bird Pokemon. Let's pump these up a bit, please.
It's just a bird, but
Yeah.
that's really all it needs to be.
I like how I went into the stream saying, let's make fun of Dripson because he's super critical, and yet he and I have agreed on a lot more things than normal. I just want to point that out.
I also think this is a great example of the change in design principles of Pokemon throughout the years. Compare the roundness of this and the sharpness of Pidgey.
The same,
I like Fletchinder. It's a much better bird. It's a lot sharper and looks a bit cooler. I like it. That is absolutely a 8 out of 10.
but now it's discount Torchic.
A
Damn
better
it.
design, and a fire type to set it apart from other Route 1 birds.
I actually want to give it that little edge too. Especially as someone who does Nuzlocking. Like, when I get around to doing a Gen 6 Nuzlocke, whenever or however that'll happen, I'm absolutely begging on getting a Fletchinder on my team if I don't start off with with Fennekin. Because that's an early game fire type, and that is fantastic to have. And a game giving you a fire type basically at the beginning of the game is fantastic. And that's probably the most you're going to get from me being, super professional as a Pokemon player. And the rest of this is just going to be me complimenting their designs. So yeah, 8 out of 10 on Fletchinder.
Nice.
Okay, making this a bird of prey and a firebird was basically precision designed to appeal to me, although realistically, it's not super impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. It gets bigger. It gets stronger. I like it for that. But the design doesn't really do anything for me. So I'm not the biggest fan. So I will agree. I'll leave it at an 8 like Fletchinder. And also, the name, Talonflame, doesn't feel that good. Like, that feels like what someone would nickname it. I feel like this is something that just people joke about when it comes to Talonflame in general. But it just doesn't feel like the greatest name they could have come up with. That's all I'm going to say.
Pretty early into the generation,
Fat bird
and
Pro
we
10.
already have a perfect design in my eyes.
Nope, don't like this one.
Scatterbug is a bug. It's not as iconic or nostalgic as Caterpie, but I'd say it's better than freaking Weedle. It's like, what, 4 out of 10? I can't remember what I gave Caterpie or Weedle. But between those two. It's my new Pokemon, Firebird. That reminds me of, what was that cheat commando name on Homestar Runner? Where's the black clothes, like Firebrunt or whatever? It reminds me of that. It's not a good commando name. The Scatterbug is between Caterpie and Weedle. It's not a horrible... I don't hate it, but, it's not as nostalgic as Caterpie, but not as bad as Weedle. That's all I'm saying. It's 4, I guess.
Don't like the gray bug with a single buck tooth design going on here.
This is just Scatterbug with fur, but that fur actually improves this quite a bit.
Yeah, agreed. This is infinitely better than Metapod and Kakuna, where I actually like Spupa. I mean, the name is kind of stupid, I'm not a fan of it, but Spupa is much better designed than, the previous Cocoon Pokemon we've had, so I'll give that one a 6, actually.
It's a bit better, and does set itself apart from most other Cocoon Pokemon that evolve from similar Caterpillar-inspired designs.
It's not
Pavilion is an interesting Pokemon. I give it an 8, as it's a very pretty Pokemon, and it's got some nice practicality, but my favorite thing about it is all the different designs you can get on its wings. My favorite was obviously the Pokemon design. Well, the Pokeball design. I liked that one the most, and I'm mad that was event only. But I did like that. If you're going to make other variant forms of a Pokemon, I like like giving them to butterflies because that's really nice. This used to be a fucking insect. Spupa sounds like a sneeze sound.
Not the best butterfly Pokemon, but thanks to the wing design, it is at least very pretty. There are a lot of great forms, but for my favorite, it's a tie between Icy Snow pattern and Marine pattern, the former for its simple yet elegant design, and the latter for its striking blue color.
Number 666. The true
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's like... Why is a butterfly taking this spot in the Pokedex?
Satan Pokemon. There's also so many patterns to choose from. If I had to pick, I think my favorite is Polar Pattern, though Fancy, Pokeball, and Icy Snow are also great.
This just screams, I want to be the fire starter Pokemon, but I'm not good enough.
Yeah, it kind of does. And it just feels weird getting a lion Pokemon in France for some reason. I don't know why. I give a little bit of practicality to it again because it's a fire type you can get super early on. So again, Nuzlocke in me loves that and wants to give it some extra points. So I'll give it a 7 for that reason alone. Hey, Ash, it's me, the devil. Milo, what do you want? My cat's getting up on my lap right now. Buddy. Okay. Thanks, Milo. That was very important.
And it's true, it's not good enough.
Just a cute little lion cub.
Yep.
Nothing too special here.
7.
Pyroar isn't that bad overall, but nothing all that special.
So actually big fan of male Pyroar's design. It's a big... Milo, make up your goddamn mind. What do you want? Alright, do you want to love me or do you want to fucking go somewhere? Make your goddamn... I'm trying to make content. If I make content, I mean react to someone else's hard-worked content, okay? And now you're off me. You're gonna walk around back the chair and get on me again, aren't you? My fucking cat is making it very hard for me to make content. Everyone say hi to Milo in the chat. Anyway, so yeah, Pyroar, 7 out of 10. Same rating as Litleo. I like lions. I don't have much else to say. I've never actually used them, so I actually can't really say much to their credibility, to their ability as a battling unit.
With one exception, the mane on
This
the
is the
female
Milo
Pyroar
content
is
was subscribed
absolutely
for.
stunning.
It took long enough for a simple lion Pokemon to be made, and for a fire type, this is about what could be expected. I'm not huge on the deep red and yellow of the mane on the male form though.
It's kinda just a flower with a little doofus tagging along, but it's not a bad Pokemon at least.
So for the first fairy Pokemon you can catch in this game, I actually really like Flabebe. It's very small, it's cute, and it has the potential to, well, grow into something better. And I give Flabebe a 7, which probably you're going to hear from me a lot. It's kind of hard to say your frustration with the cat. Speaking of which, Milo is gone. I think he finally decided he was done fucking with my content.
I like the orange flower form myself because orange flowers are pretty.
I very much either red or blue. Because I don't think there was a purple one. Purple's my favorite color. And red is... Up there, he's back. He's you little shit. Yeah, you're gonna keep... What are you doing? Milo. You good? Just gonna try and power through the cat.
Our first in-game introduction to the fairy type, and quite a fine one at that. I think I like Blue Flower the best.
Now that the creature part of Floette has taken over, I like this line a bit more now, and I'm still Team Orange Flower form supremacy.
I am still Team Red and Blue Flower Supremacy. I'm also Team AZ Supremacy, because the red and black flower was amazing. And additionally, 8 out of 10, because it's growing more into itself with its more fairy-like design. I'm a huge fan of Flabebe, of Floette. Blah. Give Milo a 10 out of 10 for information drips and rating unconfirmed. Your cat is annoying. My cat opens my fucking bedroom door in the middle of the night, 5 a.m., and gets my room cold. Look, my cat hates me, and he's only loving on me right now because he knows it's going to inconvenience me. Alright? That's what kind of... You wanna know what kind of pet I have? That's what my pet does. He's a little asshole.
It's more of the same as Flabebe. No real differences. I still think I prefer Blue Flower.
Incorporating everything that was great about the previous evolutions and pumping up the whole design with some nice improvements, Florges ends it on a strong note. This time I prefer red flower form because the red bouquet hairline looks spectacular.
Agreed on the red bouquet flower form, and I'm gonna give it a 9 because it's a further improvement on everything else. I also want to point out that this fucking flower fairy has the figure I want to have right now, alright? That fucking... want to pull that off. How do I do that?
This change is much more appreciated compared to Floette. I think I actually prefer Red Flower this time over Blue.
Not a fan of the colors on this one, but Skiddo is pretty solid.
Yeah, Skiddo is cute. I love it. It's a Pokemon I wish I had used in the originally, but I didn't. Because for some fucking reason, when I played X and Y for the first time ever, I had 3 fire types on my team. I started off with Fennekin, I got the event Torchic, and then when I met Sycamore, I got a Charmander. And I didn't give myself room for a grass type. Because I had to have a water type to progress. And I can't even remember what my other 2 Pokemon were. Milo. my cat's trying to climb my back. What do you want from me? Skiddo's a Pokemon I regret not using. Alright, I give it a 7 out of 10.
A cute little goat kid. I wish you could ride them around more than in just the one pen, I think.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
these could have replaced the bike.
Oh, that would have been so amazing. If, like, you could have been able to ride Skiddo more often. Because, like, if you teach Surf to Lapras, you could actually ride that on the overworld as opposed to, like, the black fish shadow thingy. I would have loved if you could have done that with Skiddo and a bike. Like, that would have just been fantastic. Alright? Milo wants your attention, they're gonna fucking have it. Oh, you goddamn right he is. I'm trying to pet him while I review
The same,
content.
but an adult.
Yeah, I want to give it the 8 for the improved design. It's a lot bigger and gruffier, and I like that design. I like that. So, I kind of want to give it the 8.
A solid design. Nothing special,
Based.
but visually distinct.
Pandas are pretty dang cool, and Pancham is no exception.
Ah, yes, the iconic French animal, the panda. Real talk, I do love Pancham's design. It's very cute and small. When I first caught one, I named it Po because Kung Fu Panda, and then I proceeded to never use it. If I'm correct, you have to evolve it by, like, having a Dark-type Pokemon on your team. So this was, I think, one of the first Pokemon this generation that had a weird evolution strat to it. But, admittedly, it was one of the better ones to attempt it. That's not goat, that's a demon. Pandas are French. Oh, you're right. You see, this is clearly why I failed World Geo, because I kept complaining to my teacher about where the animals were supposed to be. Clearly. Hey, Neo's here. Ah, yes, level 30 plus Dark on your team to be a bad influence. Exactly. Little Timmy's got to be around the edgelords. All right. I grew up around Shadow the Hedgehog, and look at where I'm at now. What am I doing with my life?
And although it doesn't always work for me, I like the scampy attitude on this one.
Pancham is just an angry little dude, and that's cool.
Insert
Pangoro looks fucking cool. Alright, that is a fucking fierce, like, what, dark fighting type? I love Pangoro. It looks cool. I never used one, so I'm gonna give it an 8. Why does this panda look like a punk more than Yakuza punks? Don't know, ask Shadow. I think the only thing Pancham's missing from looking like a true Japanese punk is that fucking pompadour hairstyle. You know what I mean? Josuke style.
Kung Fu Panda
Or Gentaro from fucking Commodore Forza. Give him that pompadour haircut.
joke here. Also, Pangoro is badass, although I'm not super duper sure of the fur cape.
I really don't know how to feel about this design. I really like it, but it just appears off in some way.
Poodles are fine enough.
I actually love Furfro's basic, just floofy design before you groom it. Like, I'm just a big fan of dogs. Furfro's nice. Especially because, like, we're in France, a goddamn poodle is expected. Alright? And I love Furfro for that very same design. Well, for that very purpose. So I give Furfro a fucking 8, even though it's probably not that great. Yeah, Pompadour from Duck Game. I like the one trim, I agree. It's also very useful in game. I don't like this tug. It's like 75, 180, 138, 90 bulk. I have no idea
guess,
what that
but
means.
when it comes to that stereotypical
I don't understand
accessorize
Pokemon
your
stats.
poodle look, I'm not a fan. That's why I prefer the natural form because, you know, that's how it should be.
Milo,
Yep,
get off my shoulder.
That's a poodle. I think my favorite is the matron trim. Most of the other trims are too showy for me, and the natural form's fur looking unkempt puts me off too much.
I know this one is
Esper is that one Pokemon that absolutely dominated well, technically its evolution dominated the competitive scene. As for Esper itself, it's a cat with unblinking eyes because all it can see is the end of the time and universe and everything. I don't really have much to say. Like 6 out of 10. It's not a bad design, but I really had nothing good to say. But I also don't have much good to say about it. The meme. I think it's
Popular because it's evidently a mood, and while I'm not that into Esper, it's a nice Pokemon.
Oh, look, it's the funny meme Pokemon from 2013. I really didn't, and still don't, understand people's obsession with Esper before the game launched.
Looking cool, Joker.
So, Meowstic, I'm actually a bigger fan of Meowstic's design and color scheme more than the female version. Because I like the predominant blue with white accents. I think that does fantastically well. The only thing preventing me from liking male Meowstic is the fact that the goddamn thing is a defense player and exists more to buff, like it's not the offense player that the female version can do. And that kind of sucks for me. So 7 out of 10 agreed.
A much better design than Esper. Simple and distinct.
So I'm pretty picky when it comes to...
Honedge. I fucking love ghost types. You already all know this. So this is getting a 10 out of 10 in general. Honedge is one of the other Pokemon I had on my team my first ever playthrough of this. Because I fucking loved ghost types and a fucking sword Pokemon was even cooler. So 10 out of 10. I love Honedge.
the sword designs, and Honedge does not really appeal to me. Shorter and wider swords have to work extra hard to be in my wheelhouse, and this being a living creature doesn't win it any favors.
This is one of the best non-animal inspired designs in all of Pokemon.
Fucking based Dribson. Holy shit.
What if Honedge, but two of them?
So yeah, again, 10 out of 10 because ghost type. I will admit, like, I actually do think the Honedge evolution gets progressively worse as, like, the more it evolves. From one sword to two swords, back to one sword, but now it has a shield. It's like, okay, I just miss regular Honedge.
And also, the pink sash looks a little worse.
While I love Honedge, I'm not as keen on Doublade. I get what it's going for, and I like the change to pink.
Yeah, but just a sword. Well, swords are perfect. I may not want to give my V2 bottle a sword, but god damn it, I love swords. I used to do fencing and sword fighting back in high school, alright? You wanna challenge my opinion on swords? Come fight me. I'll go get my foil ready.
Pink purple, but something just doesn't sit right with me.
Aegislash is better, yet not enough to make it a great design. I like Shield
10
form
out of
more
10.
because the combination of an offensive and defensive weapon works for me.
This is Honedge, but better. Which shouldn't be possible given Honedge is 10 out of 10, but it is.
There's enough going on here to elevate it above the moniker of generic cute sphere, with the plumage and the Plague Doctor mask facial design giving Spritzy some points.
Yeah, Spritzy is very cute, and I like the Plague Doctor mask as well. I want to give it that 8 out of 10 because it has a lot of style and flair. But unfortunately, it's tanked by its evolution. Yeah, but this sword looks dumb. You take that back.
It's not terrible.
You think the sword looks dumb? Well, guess what, Cloud? Well, guess what, Cloud Connection? Boom.
But I'm not really a Spritzy fan.
Ugh, they lost me quite a bit with this one.
Fucking 1 out of 10. I hate Aromatisse. That thing is hideous. I just do not like it. Holy shit.
Aromatisse is not terrible, but the floofiness
Yes, it is.
actually works heavily against it.
Nope. That's it. Just... no.
Fuck no.
Now here's the generic cute sphere with
Take it back, the sword.
a dopey face to boot.
I like Swirlix. Swirlix is cute. I like the whole cotton candy thing. It's a 6 out of 10.
It's not great, but it's a little silly at least.
This is purely personal opinion, but I don't care for Slurpuff at all.
I prefer Slurpuff to Aromatisse. I'm not gonna say Slurpuff is a great design, but I will say 6 out of 10. This thing's cry is hilarious and it's a tank. Okay, Aromatisse should die to fire. Thank you, Senpai.
Suppose it works fine enough for what it's intended to do, but all of those elements are ones I don't care for. So sorry, Slurpuff, but you're not getting any love from me.
Still just as silly, but it doesn't really fit as well as it did with Swirlix.
Inkay?
Inkay's cute. I think it's adorable and one of the better squid Pokemon we've had compared to like fucking Tentacle and shit. No, that Tentacle's a jellyfish. What the hell am I talking about? Anyways, I like Inkay. It's cute. It's a nice 6 out of 10. Little cute little goober.
More like, okay.
Little squid.
Also, what's holding back Inkay and its evolution is that this is also one of the Pokemon that had a weird-ass evolution strat. Wasn't it like you had to hold your 3DS upside down to evolve it? Like, isn't that correct? Might be... Flip. It was so dumb. Inkay was a weird little Pokemon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Squiddle.
We get it, guys. The 3DS had accelerometers in it, and you wanted to take advantage of it.
There we go. Yeah. This one gets held back to a 6 out of 10 as well with Inkay. Because, like, normally this design, enough for me to put in an 8 out of 10. And a Psychic Dark type is fantastic typing. But that evolution strat is so goddamn dumb. It holds Malamar back.
You should be really proud. Anyway, I'm not a fan of Malamar, but I do wonder how many people evolved Inkay by accident because they just so happened to have the system upside down at the time. They have to be out there, right?
I'm not really sure why, but Malamar's design rules. Not a fan of evolving with the console upside down.
Malamar looks like a supervillain in like a tokusatsu show. Like, you can imagine this thing fighting against the Power Rangers. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Malamar looks like. It looks like a like one of the grand enemies on like a Saturday morning, Power Ranger style show. I would totally watch that kind of thing.
However,
what the fuck?
Yeah, Binacle is fucking weird. Like, you want to make a Barnacle Pokemon, that's fine, but like, that's just a stupid looking thing. 1 out of 10 agreed.
a 2. 1 for each head.
What the double fuck?
Okay, I actually like Barbaracle a lot more because it's bigger, just looks like it's ready to fucking throw down. I'm gonna give it a 4 because it still looks weird with all the hands, but like at the same time, actually no, I'm gonna give it a 6 because it also evokes that Tokusatsu vibe that I was just talking about. Like, again, another creature I could totally see fighting the Power Rangers, and now I just love it even more now.
A 7. 1 for each head. I think I'd like it a bit better if the head was shaped like the rest of the barnacles and not like a hand.
This little turd is like if you took the Seadra line and sucked out everything good about it.
I already disliked the video, so I don't know what else I could do to show displease now. I like Skrelp. I like seahorses, and Skrelp is just kind of cute. Plus, Poison Dragon, underrated typing. I love it. Skrelp is a good little fish, 7 out of 10. OMFG, Binacle just flashbang, no stunned, no actual. So you're not sucking out much. Skrelp looks like men during post-nut. Said by why?
And I like seahorses, or sea dragons, whatever.
Skrelp isn't anything special, and might actually be a bit busy of a design.
I guess that's better?
Another Pokemon that I think is awesome, but can't really explain why. Maybe...
So Dragology, I think, is in that 7 out of 10 area, where I think at this point, it's an advancement, but at the same time, there's too much going on. I still like it, so 7 out of 10.
Leafy sea dragons are cool, I don't know.
I like
Simple design, great colors.
Glad it's a good thing we finished our Ocarina of Time randomizer, because otherwise next time we played, I have some words for you. Also, Clauncher is just a goddamn lobster. That's all I'm gonna say. Freaking Corfish was better. 7 out of 10.
And different enough from the other crustacean Pokemon so far. Clauncher is pretty neat.
A pretty basic mantis shrimp design. Kinda cool.
Clawitzer is pretty cool.
I put Clawitzer on the same level, like level 7, like 7 out of 10. Because now it leans less from being a fucking lobster to being a shrimp with a giant fucking crab claw. Lobster claw, what the fuck it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just the one giant claw in this small thing actually just doesn't vibe with me. So 7 out of 10. Because it's still not bad. Oh, am I gonna get canceled on my Pokemon opinions? Yes, everyone go to x.com and go fucking cancel Cloud Connection. He thinks Skrelp is for poopy. Just kidding, don't. Cloud's an amazing creator. And I did actually dislike the video. It's a like.
And probably has the best name of this generation so far.
Man, Gen 6 really has some good sea creature themed designs, doesn't it?
Well, look at this cute little dump.
Okay, Helioptile is fucking cute. I love this little guy. Helioptile is an absolute 8 out of 10. I fucking love him. I dare you.
Helioptile is a silly boy.
It's pretty cute. though a bit simple on the color palette.
Heliolisk also has a bit of silliness going on, but the extra sun-like elements are a nice touch.
I also love Gila Lizards, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I love Heliolisk. Good Pokemon.
That's better. I really like the sun aesthetic, not being on a fire or grass type.
I've got nothing to say about Tyrunt. I'm just gonna predict that Dripson's gonna make a reference to fossil fighters.
T-Rex Pokemon. T-Rexes are always cool. And the fact that it surprisingly took 6 generations of Pokemon to finally get one is actually surprising. Like, it's the most iconic dinosaur. You'd think we would have gotten one in the first generation, but no, we got other stuff. We missed out on T-Rex dinosaur Pokemon for this long. Generally surprising. As for Pokemon design itself, it's a T-Rex. I don't have much to say. 7 out of 10.
Tyrunt is a cute little Tyrannosaurid, and it's surprising it took this long for a fossil Pokemon to be based off of a T-Rex.
Did he make the fossil fighters reference like I said he would? If not, then forget about little old me.
So I agree on an 8, but I also want to ask, why does this T-Rex have a goddamn beard? For what reason?
Also, Tyrantrum is pretty dang cool.
Tyrantrum is just epic. Nothing else to really say about it.
Well, that's an interesting design. Amaura could have easily been less than stellar, but it all works pretty well.
So I picked Amora on my first playthrough because I was like, oh, it's an ice type that's natural ability turns normal type moves into ice type, refrigerate. And I thought that was really cool. Also, Amara is just very well designed and cute. I absolutely love it. I agree on the 8 out of 10. It's probably not good as a Pokemon because ice types, you know, but I do like Amora.
Amora is one of the few, maybe the only,
Looks like
fossil Pokemon.
like it has 80 years. Amora. Amora looks like her play. Shush, I'm bad at that.
Pokemon that can be described as pretty.
I have
Yeah, I'll have fun
literally
in the comment
never seen
section.
this Pokemon before writing this script, and I am absolutely enthralled.
Yeah, I agree with Cloud on this one. That's a 10 because it's a very, very pretty and gorgeous design. And it just gets even bigger and bulkier, with its only thing holding it back being ice typing, because ice types are not always very, very, very rarely practical.
I haven't been super kind this generation, but Aurorus is fantastic.
Aurora
This doesn't forgive you for Skrelp, but it's helping your case now.
continues the trend of being a pretty fossil.
Trans rights, motherfuckers.
Based! And now I have forgiven you for Skrelp.
But even beyond that, this is a
10 out of
beautiful
10.
Pokemon and a very worthy evolution. And look at that, 2 10s in a row from me.
I remember when Sylveon was first teased, before the fairy type had been announced, and we were discussing what type it could be. I think flying was a high contender. Or if it was a new
Aurora Borealis? Aurora Borealis! At this time of day, at this time of year, or this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Yes. May I see it? No. Base Cloud is base. Thank you, Quinn.
type.
Hawlucha is a great idea with a great execution, and that's all you need sometimes.
9 out of 10 on Hawlucha. I agree. It feels weird getting the Luchador Pokemon in France, but nonetheless, I still fucking love Hawlucha. Another Pokemon I wish I had used a lot more when I was a kid.
Hawlucha is one of the most standout designs from XY, and its unique dual-type move Flying Press is an interesting idea that should be looked at more in the future.
What if Raichu, but Hamtaro'd?
So when it comes to the Pikachu clones, I actually am not a fan of Dedenne. Like, we had fucking Pichu, which is baby Pikachu in Gen 2. We had... Who was our Gen... Oh yeah, we had Plus One Mine, which I had some nostalgia for. Could forgive them. I loved squirrels, so I loved Pachirisu. Emolga, being a flying squirrel, was being like a sugar glider, was even better. Dedenne is just a goddamn hamster. Like, it has fairy typing, so it's better, but like at the same time, this one's just Pikachu. Like, 4 out of 10. I don't hate it. But like, this is definitely like one of the lower end ones, I will say.
It took a while, but we hit the Pikachu clone for the generation. And this one is alright.
Don't have anything to say about this one, but while I have you all here, has anybody seen my keys?
I know what it's leading up to. Anyway, so Carbink. I'm giving this a 3, solely because that's like the most mid design I think I could say. Like, it's a Pokemon I want to like because it's rock with all the gems sticking out. And that looks cool, but like at the same time, I don't know. This feels like a Pokemon that was very much created to hype up Deontay, even though it took over a couple like a year or two for Deontay to actually happen. Like, Deontay was not something that was readily available in the game or whatnot. And Carbink just feels weird as hell without Deontay around. I am not a fan of Carbink.
It's a rock bunny thing? I never really was a fan of Carbink's design.
What if Ditto, but also a generic cute sphere?
I love Goomy. Goomy's a silly little goober. I love Goomy. 8 out of 10.
This is another one that I never really understood the almost cult following that Goomy had around the time that the games came out.
A better design on this one, but that face creeps me out.
9 out of 10, because it's slowly growing into its, into its better form. Like, yeah, it's looking a bit weird, but it's still an improvement. I still think it looks cute. I love Sliggoo.
Reminds me of Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sliggoo just looks so much weirder than Goomy. Goomy's silliness was at least kinda charming.
Goodra ends on a pretty solid note.
Goodra is a 10 out of 10. I fucking love this dragon. It is so cute. I would hug it all day, even though I'd be covered in slime and have to shower, like, immediately. But it is cute, and I love it.
Even if it looks like, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but it is the best way to describe it that I can think of, a curvier Mewtwo.
Not the best design, and maybe this could have benefited from the poison type, but it's a solid way to end the Goomy line.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I found my keys.
Klefki was
So we have literal keyring the Pokemon. We've had, like, this is a design that a lot of people have bashed on. I don't hate Klefki. It's kind of cute for what it is. If, you know, not the most original, but at the same time, I think of this like Vanillite and such, where it's a very cute design, and I give some love for it, and I think people overhate on it. 7 out of 10. Artist, what if a wet dream with Goodra? I heard Kirby-er Mewtwo, which is perfect. Kirby-er. Mewtwo in the Kirby universe looks like Goodra. I like that idea.
the butt of all the out-of-idea jokes for this generation. And while I can't really defend this like I could Vanillite, it's still just a little bit goofy, and I like that.
Wow, Phantump is surprisingly great.
Phantump is goddamn adorable, and I caught one and named it Deku Scrub, because it's the spirit of a lost child of someone who got lost in the forest, and I fucking love it.
Excellent idea, and while the typical ghost design for a spirit part isn't extravagant, the skull-looking tree trunk mask is an excellent touch.
Spooky ghost tree.
Can't help but feel like Trevenant lost something in its evolution from Phantump. Look,
Yeah, I'll tell you what it lost. It lost its cuteness factor. But Trevenant still looks cool and, like, intimidating. I love Trevenant. Like, I've given almost every single ghost type a 10 out of 10 rating. Trevenant still holds that title and holds it very well. Yeah, that's absolutely what I said. Left key, someone forgot to spell key. So yeah, BRB.
looking a little
It's
bit
terrifyingly
too
cute is
generic
accurate.
RPG tree monster to me, but it's not bad at all.
Scary ghost tree.
Pumpkin Boy commits treat invasion.
A
Pumpkaboo is goddamn adorable. I fucking love you, like, even more than Phantump. Alright, you are adorable. And I had one in my fucking Sword and Shield playthrough. I love Pumpkaboo, and that name is just adorable. It's in that same category like Talonflame, where it feels like a nickname rather than a, you know, the actual species name, but I still love Pumpkaboo.
Jack-o'-lantern is a great design for a grass ghost type Pokemon. I just wish it wasn't right after the superior grass ghost type this generation.
I agree.
It's fine, but I don't have much to say about Gorgeist.
Same. I give it that 10 out of 10. I like how the Jack-o'-lantern actually forms the bottom now, but at the same time, I actually kind of still prefer Pumpkaboo.
Not as great as Trevenant, but still a wonderful design given the inspiration.
Damn, Bergmite, you are not doing any favors for the ice type.
Yeah, seriously, Bergmite is... I think Bergmite's actually on the lower end of ice types. I give that a 3 out of 10. It's not great.
Bergmite has always just kind of been there when I think about the Gen 6 Pokemon.
I kinda like the idea of an ice turtle golem thing, but Avalugg isn't all that spectacular.
I give Avalugg that 4 out of 10 for the sole fact that I don't know what the hell it is. Is it a turtle golem like you suggested? I don't know. I can't tell. Avalugg is weird.
I always thought that Avalugg looked a bit funny and kinda like a table.
I'd be much more inclined to give Noibat crap for being a bit of a generic bat, but Zubat fits that description much more, so I can actually appreciate this one.
Noibat is the best bad Pokemon we've had, period. 9 out of 10. I fucking love Noibat. Also, I want to point out this generation has done fantastic stuff for the dragon typing. We got Skrelp and evolving into fucking Dragalge. We had Goomy, and now we have Noibat. All right, 3 dragon type Pokemon this generation, and Noibat becoming freaking Noivern, and I love all of them. Noibat is a 9 out of 10, and of course, naturally I'm going to say Noivern ahead of time, 10 out of 10. I fucking love both of all these dragon types we have this generation.
And hey, bats are neat.
I remember rumors circulating about a new type
think I
being
saw
added
Noibat
into
killed him
XY
at the time.
while new
Aw,
things were
dang.
being revealed. And one of the stronger rumors was the addition of the sound type. And it was either this or
Oh shit, yeah, I remember the rumors of the sound type too, and I was actually like on board with having a sound type. I thought it would have done some nice things for like fucking Whismer and making it better. I'm not looking back, the idea of a sound type is kind of stupid, but I just remember hearing that and being like super into the idea as a kid.
Noivern that were the catalyst to those rumors.
Damn, I really want to like Noivern because the purple and black combination is
Damn.
incredible, but it's a bit too busy, and I can't say I like the green accents.
I love it.
Sometimes I look back and wonder
10 out
what
of
would have
10.
happened if a sound type was introduced. Noctowl, Exploud, Chimecho, Kricketune, Chatot, Seismitoad. A lot of existing Pokemon could have become a new type as well. Anyway, I like Noivern.
While Xerneas is far from my favorite legendary, it is at least a striking design, at least with active mode, which is my preferred form, by the way.
Yeah, I agree with Cloud on this one, except I'd give it a 6, because, Dear Jesus is alright. I think it definitely is pretty for what it is, but at the same time, definitely like one of the last legendaries I think I would pick ever.
I'm not huge on Xerneas, but I think it's funny that a discovery in Generation 9 means that, in the Hackmon's battle format, Xerneas is locked into its regular Fairy Aura ability, as in Gen 9, Pokemon must be sent out in their base form, preventing Pokemon such as Blade Form Aegislash from being hacked into the party. Xerneas technically has a base form, Neutral Mode, and turns into active mode when sent out into battle.
Can't say I care for Yveltal all that much, but it does look like it wants to give you a big ol' hug, although that third arm is reaching for an uncomfortable place, so, you know, maybe avoid that.
So Yveltal is a really cool vulture. As a kid, I first thought it was gonna be like some kind of fucking dragon, and I thought that looked cool. Now that I know it's a fucking death monster, I know it's actually, and not dragon type, I know it's supposed to be a vulture. I like it, and we all know that its shiny form looks like bacon, so it's even better. I liked Yveltal. It was nice. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Having picked Y as my game of choice for Gen 6, I
Same.
am partial to Yveltal over Xerneas.
I'm primarily basing this rating off of Zygarde Complete, because it's not just aping off of Houndoom and Arbok, but the complete form is pretty damn badass, and obviously my favorite form.
So I agree on that statement. Like, complete form, I give a 9 out of 10 to. Zygarde regular, I give a 6 out of 10 to. I give the dog form a 7 out of 10. And the standard goo slug thing a fucking like 3 out of 10. I'm rating each form of Zygarde. Zygarde's a Pokemon that I feel like really deserved its own game, like Platinum and whatnot, to fully flesh out its existence. But sadly, Game Freak was done doing the third games, so I was really pissed off about that one.
But for some reason, I really like Zygarde as a Pokemon, even its only form in this game, now known as 50% form. I think 50% is my favorite form of Zygarde, though 10% is close.
Diancie is pretty dang cute, and a respectable Pokemon this far into the decks.
Yeah, I give Diancie a 9 out of 10. Like, that is a really good designed Pokemon. And, like, I'm mad it wasn't in the base game as just, like, a natural thing. They had to put that in as an event. I'm mad. Diancie was very much a Pokemon that should have been just ready to go from the start. Especially because it would have redeemed Carbink. Seriously, probably... If Diancie was in the base game, I probably would have had a bit more love for Carbink then. I'm just going to say that. But instead, no, we have to save this for an event Pokemon. 9 out of 10, I love Diancie.
Diancie was the first event-distributed legendary Pokemon I ever was able to obtain, thanks to the unlimited cards available at GameStop.
Nice.
Ugh, don't like this one. I guess I like Hoopa Confined more because it looks less dumb?
Hoopa is kinda just there.
So yeah, Hoopa's a psychic ghost, so therefore I agree on I have to give it a 10 out of 10. And it's not the worst design ghost I've ever seen. It's alright. But like, Diancie has so much flair to it, and I loved it. Hoopa, not as good. Diancie is Beyonce.
Definitely feels like the Mew clone of the generation, at least design-wise. I think I prefer Hoopa Confined, since, and I don't know why I think this, but Hoopa Unbound reminds me too much of Eraser Jin from Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Ladies and gentlemen, we found the most boring Pokemon to end the new creatures on, because Volcanion is pretty lame.
I'm gonna give it that like 5 out of 10 because you're right, it's a weird design. It's just so fucking weird. but I want to give it some points in exchange in return because it's a fire water type. And that's a typing combo we don't really see like at all, and it has some nice practicality for that. Equally so, what the fuck? Did Volcanion get any like Pokemon movie special or anything? Like, did the Pokemon franchise ever try to do something to hype up Volcanion? I have no idea. I started falling off on the anime and such during Gen 6 and just stuck to the games. But like, Volcanion's just weird. It's a sore thumb, like a rejected Digimon design that the creators threw out in the trash, and then some people at Game Freak went and stole me and like, aha, they're not taking it. We'll use it now. I don't know. Volcanion is weird.
While I really dislike the design, Volcanion turning the water type
easy
into the
grab it.
first type to be paired
True.
with every other type, this being fire, is pretty cool.
Fucking... I know I started playing fucking Genshin lately. I don't need you to advertise it to me. Sorry about your ad revenue there, Cloud, but I'm already trying to get into Genshin now. I don't need it advertised to me.
This is basically just Venusaur, but I guess the extra details make it a little better?
I give it an 8 out of 10. I like it. It's just a bigger buffer, just a bigger, more planty Venusaur, and I kind of like that. It's nice.
It's pretty much more of Venusaur, but doesn't do enough to distinguish itself from base Venusaur.
Alright.
Okay, actually that's correct, so 7 out of 10. And Charizard X, the grand takeaway that everyone goddamn loves, is the 10 out of 10. I agree. It gets that black color scheme that everyone fucking adores and makes it just look goddamn perfect. Dragon typing does it the justice it deserves. Charizard X is fantastic. 10 out of 10 agreed.
Charizard X is badass. You can deride this as
my
just
money.
a black and
Little
blue
thousand
Charizard,
dollars.
but the added spikes make it an incredible form. And no, I don't mean that black and blue.
And it was even better during fucking Pokemon Origins, the anime, as you got to see Red and his Charizard fucking Mega Evolve to beat up Mewtwo. It was even cooler there.
This is what Charizard should have been from the start, and it's finally earned its dragon typing.
As much as I love Charizard, I think the wings and more rugged and angular design on this one don't work as well.
I give this one the same thing as a Mega Venusaur, as it's in that same line of, okay, this looks like a natural evolution from the previous one, not a Mega. It doesn't do too much to distance itself. Yes, it's a lot more rougher, but I still think it's... I grew up with Pokemon. I played Pokemon Y. I have some charm for this one. But especially coming off Mega Charizard X, this one just feels pale in comparison.
Still great,
7 out of 10.
but less so.
It's just Charizard 1.5, and suffers the same as Mega Venusaur does.
This is a case where I think they leaned in too hard on the standard Blastoise design rather than adding some new quirk or gimmick.
Okay, yeah, Mega Blastoise is absolutely like the weakest one of the Kanto starter Megas. I actually give this one a 5 out of 10, because it's just... Instead of the 2 cannons on the back, now there's 2 cannons on the arm and 1 giant cannon on the back, and it's so lazy and not good. I actually don't like this one. 5 out of 10.
I get that Mega Evolutions are more of a temporary power-up, more akin to a final form, but in hindsight, it doesn't make these mons stand out as much.
That cannon makes it look like Blastoise is gonna have fucking back problems in the next couple of years, I swear.
Mega Blastoise does a lot to differ from its base form to be distinct compared to the other starters, while still maintaining its own identity.
Funnily enough, this does change Alakazam significantly, but nothing is either better or worse than the original design, so same score.
It has 5 spoons now, and it's so powerful with its psychic powers that its goddamn body can fucking die to the weakest move ever. Physical moves ever. Alakazam, you are amazing. Equally so, your defense is paper. 7 out of 10. Like, it definitely has that mega vibe, but like from that competitive standpoint that I will hop onto for like another 5 seconds, it's definitely on the weaker end.
Mega Alakazam is such a comical improvement over
So you
base
like fucking
Alakazam,
spoons.
but I'm still not the biggest fan of the design.
This is what I'm talking about.
God damn, you're right, it is. 10 out of 10. Mega Gengar looks awesome.
Recognizable, but significantly different from the original, and a really cool take on Gengar.
I think that Mega Gengar strays a bit too far away from base Gengar and what its pre-evolutions built up.
What if Kangaskhan, but all grown up?
Yeah, I gave this one the 5 out of 10. Cause like, I want to give it higher because it was so good battle-wise that it was bad for competitive play. I know that much. and it played a major role in the X and Y Adventures manga because like that was the main character X's fucking ace in the hole, his Kangaskhan. Equally so, it's genuinely just, oh look, the baby can walk on his own now and fight, and that's not that interesting.
Okay, while I really like Kangaskhan's design, Mega Kang is extremely lazy. A very good design, but very lazy.
And remember fucking terminal montages Mega Pokemon Battle Royale and Mega Kangaskhan got defeated by Ghostbusters 2 reference? That's all I'm gonna say on the matter.
This works for me a lot better than normal Pinsir thanks to the pretty cool wings, but I'm still not a fan of Pinsir itself, so it's inevitably going to lose points.
I give this one an 8 out of 10. I like it, and if my memory is correct, its Mega Evolution Pokedex entry actually says that Pinsir just is so happy in this form because it gets to fly around and that makes it happy. And that's just wholesome, I love it. 8 out of 10 Mega Pinsir.
This is pretty busy, and has too much going on for it compared to Pinsir's simpler design and coloring.
Oh wow, I actually might prefer this to regular Gyarados. You have to try pretty hard to improve on that one, but Mega Gyarados knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, Mega Gyarados is fire. I like that. Oh, okay, it's water, but yeah. I actually would give it a 9 out of 10 as, I don't know, I feel like this one has a bit much going on for me. I don't know what it is, but just, something about the design doesn't give me that 10 out of 10 vibe, but I still love it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Gyarados to begin with, and this just doesn't look right to me.
No way.
Yeah, what is up with Aerodactyls getting rocks everywhere? Seriously. That is absolutely like a 3 out of 10. Like, no, you know what? No, Cloud's right, 2 out of 10. That thing is goddamn ugly. I hate it.
The rocks jutting out of Mega Aerodactyl just don't look all that great.
Interesting choice.
I'm gonna back up. Did I miss Dripson saying something? He agrees like, oh, the rocks don't look that great, but still gives it an 8 out of 10, right?
The rocks jutting out of Mega Aerodactyl just don't look all that great.
So why did you give it an 8? Cloud, can you inform me on this? Is there some justification? Why did he give it an 8 if his comments were just like the rocks don't do it any favors? Is it just because it's stronger as a Mega or whatever? I don't know. Dactyl looks like the rejected uncle who gets invited to the barbecue out of pity. True. So I'm going to continue on with the video while I wait. While we keep on going.
Interesting choice from Mewtwo to turn part of its tail into battle armor, but I think that kind of works.
So Mega Mewtwo X is weird. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this one. Especially its decision to go from psychic to fighting with physical stuff, but it's a thing that exists. I agree on the 7 out of 10. It's not the greatest, but I don't really have much bad to say about it.
It's certainly more Mewtwo, that's for sure.
Mew and a half.
Okay, I'm actually a big fan of Mewtwo Y, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Because it was an imperfect clone of Mew that was supposed to be powerful and whatnot, and now it's returning more to that Mew-based form, and I absolutely love that. So I'm a huge fan of Mewtwo Y. What I can say is that an 8 is not an error. Drips is kind of an enigma sometimes. Okay, fair. We've played Space Kings with him. He's a weird guy, I will admit. But Mewtwo Y, Mega Mewtwo Y, I absolutely love it. 8 out of 10.
I remember vividly the discussions of this being Mew 3 before Mega Evolution
I remember
was
that
announced
discussions
for these
too,
games.
and I was hyped for that.
Good times.
Yep.
Hot damn, Ampharos has got some style and hair now.
10 out of 10. That Pokemon is fabulous.
This is pretty much everything that Ampharos needed. Fluffy hair, dragon type, and beads.
Hey look, it's
Hey,
Future
Newman.
Paradox Caesar.
So Mega Scizor I actually was a huge fan of, and I'm mad I didn't have a Scizor to play around with. I was a Pokemon I would have loved to have used. Like an 8 out of 10 as well. Hi Newman, you would Milo was giving me shit earlier, and now you're here to give me loving too. Thanks, Newman. Your kisses are your breath smells, but your kisses are appreciated, dog.
I'll call him Ironclaw.
Another design that I think went a bit too overboard into one aspect of a Pokemon, this being the pincers, and not really trying to build up the Pokemon's design as a whole.
I still
Watch
like
out, this one's finna stab ya.
Fucking sumo wrestling judo Heracross over here, or whatever the hell he's got going on. I wanted to like Mega Heracross because I like the bigger, bulkier arms and whatnot. But like looking at it now, I don't know. It's just it's too rotund for me now. 7 out of 10 agreed. Ampharos looks lost. I have no count for Scizor.
Once
Scizor's
again, a design that gets
Scizor's
too
good.
busy upon Mega Evolving.
Pains me to say this since Houndoom is fantastic, but they went overboard on this one. Sorry pal, I love you, but this is too much.
I'm actually a big fan of Houndoom's design. 8 out of 10. It's a Mega Houndoom is good. if anything, my criticism, not edgy enough. I think I would have definitely tried going for a more Cerberus-like design, giving it, like, 2 more heads. Imagine the dex lore we would have gotten on that if they went for a more Cerberus-like design and tried giving him 2 more heads. Imagine how they try and make that fucked up. Why does Heracross have those hoods you see turned? Oh my goodness, I don't want to think about that. Senpai.
While it's not as egregious, there's still a lot going on here compared to base Houndoom.
While it does lose some points from regular Tyranitar for me, I think this is still a pretty solid upgrade, and turning the blue plates red was a nice touch.
Space Godzilla, 10 out of 10. It doesn't look like Space Godzilla, but just, I wanted to akin it to another kaiju, and with the stuff going on its back, it kind of reminded me of that.
This kinda just stomps base Tyranitar's slick kaiju design and replaces it with a kid's drawing of a cooler kaiju.
I like
this
it.
Mega Evolution is so good that it actually makes me look at regular Blaziken with a little more disdain.
Agreed. Mega Blaziken is just genuinely fantastic. I adore Mega Blaziken. 10 out of 10 agreed.
This is the superior Fire Chicken.
While I love Blaziken's design, I can't quite sing the same praises to its Mega Evolution. Still great, but not perfect.
Mega Blaziken is so good, it actually bumped Blaziken to like one of my favorite starter Pokemon just of all time. Like, I just want to make that bit fucking clear. That's how much I love this Mega Evolution.
It's just Gardevoir with a different dress.
Yeah, it really just is. The 6 out of 10 is like, I agree with you on that one. Because, yeah, it's a dress. And it doesn't really type change this time because it already got retconned to being Psychic Fairy the whole time now, thanks to Fairy types being introduced. So it's not like Mega evolving into a Fairy type could save it. It's just Gardevoir with a new dress.
Game Freak probably knew that putting Gardevoir in a wedding dress would be a terrible thing to give to the community, but I still really love the design.
As one of my Dark Horse favorites from Gen 3, the fact that Mawile got a Mega Evolution makes me happy, and seeing that it's this awesome just makes me even happier.
Mawile got a huge fucking glow up in X and Y. Going from like Dark Steel to Steel like Fairy or Dark Fairy, I can't remember what type it got changed. It became a Fairy type this generation, was a goddamn godsend. A Mega Evolution made it even better, and this Mega design is fantastic. I'm a, 10 out of 10 agreed. I love Mega Mawile.
This is a simple improvement of the design, which, although it focuses on the important element a bit heavily, still somehow manages to work out in the end.
Quiet everybody, Grandpa Agron's gonna tell us a story.
So Aggron becomes an even bigger tank. I still like it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Fun fact, I once tried to go to a Pokemon tournament, and and Mega Aggron was part of my team. I lost my first battle there, not because my opponent was better, but because I fucked up on one of my move selections and chose Earthquake against the Talonflame instead of the Rock Slide I meant to tap on. So I lost my first ever Pokemon tournament in my first battle because I tapped on something, and I'll forever hold that again, and I will forever beat myself up over that. I didn't make an Aggramps pun and said, "Oh, that's fantastic." That's a good one, Cloud.
Oh lord, what did they do to Aggron? Butchered a perfectly good Metallic Titan design, that's what.
I guess I like that Mega Medicham added some cool new features, but the base design is still going to bother me.
Yeah, I give it a 6.
The Indian/Hindu inspirations of Mega Medicham are a lot more apparent, and in my opinion better designed, than in its base form.
Oh god, Manectric.
Yeah, goddamn, that thing is hideous. 1 out of 10. I hate Mega Manectric. Like, Manectric is not a Pokemon I think needed a Mega in the first place, but what the fuck is going on with that lightning bolt hair going on? I just... no.
What did they do to you?
What if we took a dog and slapped a giant thunderbolt down its back?
It's
This
hideous.
is a very significant...
10 out of 10! I already love Bayonet, and Mega Bayonet is even better! I love how creepy this fucker is. Adore it. Perfect.
upgrade over Banette. It takes what is a decent but uneventful Pokemon and turns it into gold.
I actually quite like Mega Banette. It really feels like a new Pokemon built from the base Pokemon form.
For one of the most iconic Gen 3 Pokemon, they did Absol justice and then some.
Absol has that emo hairstyle I want to be doing right now. And giving it wings was definitely an interesting choice. I do love Mega Absol, but I'm not a 10 out of 10. I'm a 9 out of 10.
Love this design so much.
Emo Fairy Bait.
I think they lost me with this one, unfortunately, and Mega Latias's come at me bro stance in the artwork doesn't help.
So I'm going to say this for both Mega Latios and Latios. I put them both at a 4. because wasted fusion opportunity, and additionally, why? Why? Like, I will love forever playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and flying around on the Mega Latios and Latios, but why?
I don't really know what to say about this. I'm really not a fan of the body design they went for, and I kinda get the purple being a mix of red and blue, and them having the same body plan, but I don't think it works.
The same,
doesn't.
but zoom in.
At a glance, you can't really tell these two apart,
Yep.
and having no visible silhouette differences is quite the issue.
I may get some flack for this, but Mega Garchomp is worse in just about every way.
Mega Garchomp, I give a 7 out of 10 to. I agree, it doesn't look that great. It looks more like a Digimon. I will say that.
Not enough to be on the lower end of the rating scale, but enough to criticize.
How did they manage to take such a cool design and try to make it so cool it loops around to being not cool?
A
Agreed.
respectable upgrade to Lucario that isn't as timeless of a design, but is cool regardless.
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely like a 9 out of 10 for me. Mega Lucario is very well designed. They emphasize that Mega idea. It's introduced as a Gym Leader's Pokemon as well, so it's even cooler, game-wise. It's just a fantastic design. 9 out of 10.
It's just kinda more Lucario, and not in a great way, unfortunately.
Why does this remind me of those Hungarian sheepdogs? Like this is just a dog from the Odelay cover, but fused with a snowy tree monster.
Abomasnow is one of those Pokemon I look at and wonder why they made it a Mega. And I also wonder why it actually has the Space Godzilla fucking bat crystals growing out of it. Why? Additionally, I saw like no one ever using Mega Abomasnow, so I have like no idea if this one was even good. It's just like I don't remember getting any type changes, it was just bigger, more powerful Abomasnow. Why does this exist? 5 out of 10.
While Abomasnow is at least a fairly distinct design, this is just a blob with 6 protrusions.
Now for the Oraz Megas.
You know, for just being a bee, at least Beedrill had personality. This does not.
I don't know what you're talking about. This thing is much more deadly and will haunt my nightmares. 8 out of 10. I fucking love Mega Beedrill.
Mega Beedrill is an infinitely cooler Beedrill, tougher, more intimidating, and a whole 1 foot 4 inches taller.
I'm still no huge fan of the Pidgeot line, and especially Pidgeot itself, but Mega Pidgeot might just win me over.
I agree. Mega Pidgeot is definitely a much bigger break from the rest of the Pidgey evolutionary line, so it's great as well. 8 out of 10.
A pretty decent upgrade over base Pidgeot, while not straying too far from the original design.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8 because that thing just looks so goofy. That poor little Slowbro, man. You just can't help but look at him and feel so sorry for him. Look at him. I love you, Mega Slowbro.
Mega Slowbro is pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Another instance of trying too hard. Some things about Mega Steelix are cool, make no mistake, but it's like they didn't know exactly how to improve on Steelix, so they just tried everything.
I actually think the improvements work here. Okay, well, the only improvement I say doesn't work is these weird additions to its chin. I don't know why they did that, but like the rest of it, I'm actually a huge fan of. I will give it an 8 out of 10.
I don't think this is nearly as clean of a design as Steelix, which is unfortunate, as I actually really like the crystals coming out of its body and encircling it.
It's still not a great design, but it does improve over normal Sceptile, so hey, that's a thing.
I know I've been giving out a lot of 8 out of 10s for these, but like just Sceptile continues that trend. I like Mega Sceptile, and it becomes part. Hi. You gonna keep bitching at me, Milo? Do you want me to put you up to the mic? Do you have a lot to say? You have so much to say. Then fine, come up to the mic. Tell the audience what you want to tell me, huh? You want to say something to them? Have fun, Milo? Put you back down on the ground now. Say, I really love Mega Sceptile. 8 out of 10.
I believe that Mega Sceptile is just barely an improvement over base Sceptile. Not enough for a point difference, but in spirit.
What if Swampert, but Roid Rage?
I am Heavy Weapons Guy. And this is my Mega. That is just heavy fucking Swampert. I like it to an extent. 7 out of 10. No, 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, Swampert. I will forever love Mudkip as my starter, but when it came to the Megas, I think Swampert came short. At GamingNavi, Milo needs to become a heavy metal main singer. You mean like Gretzko?
Mega Swampert, on the other hand, just does not look good. Like, at all.
Sable Knight? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have a big enough ruby.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs, you want them? They're yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. And Sableye absolutely has the biggest rupee to pay for all the bombs, lamp oil, rope it'll need. I love my ghost types. 10 out of 10. Sableye was even better. I think this is actually one of the weaker designs as it's just a bigger fucking rupee. But you know what? I still love it.
It's pretty much just the same as regular Sableye.
Sorry, Navi. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little, richer.
With more gems, a shield, and evil red eyes.
Ew, no.
They just stretched Sharpedo a bit, added a lot of yellow, and called it a day.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the weaker ones. 2 out of 10, absolutely. Like, it's not hideous, but some of the things they did, I feel like could have worked. Like the little saw teeth on its nose, those could have worked. The extra little yellow tattoos could have worked, but like, maybe they should have toned down some of what they were doing, you know?
Not really the biggest fan, to be honest.
This is kinda clever, I guess, but I'm still not a big fan. Just looks too goofy to me.
6 out of 10. I actually love Mega Camerupt. It's a good Pokemon.
Mega Camerupt, on the other hand, is quite the improvement over its base form. It even removed the weird 000 from the side of its body.
I absolutely love Altaria, but this Mega form just gets too far away from what made that one so beautiful.
Cloud. It is a cloud. You should try connecting with it. What am I doing? 6 out of 10.
Still good, but disappointing.
Mega
They were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Altaria is a great little cotton puffball that probably feels good to cuddle with.
Oh, this one hurts. Glalie is one of my
God.
favorites, but they made him so much worse. Langolier looking bastard.
I give it a 4 out of 10, and that 4 is solely out of pity, because its Pokemon Century states that it actually breaks its jaw. It can't close its mouth anymore because it basically broke its jaw to achieve this form. Poor Mega Glalie.
Glalie adds a lot of rock that amounts to nothing in terms of design. Maybe this could have been part rock type?
Interesting how Salamence despec'd his body into making his wings really big, and also really stupid.
Paradox Future Roaring Moon.
Yeah. I kind of like... So Mega Salamence really is just I group is definitely the weaker end as well. I give it a 5 out of 10 because it's just, hey, my wings got bigger. And now it looks like my future / past self, I guess. I can't remember which one it looked like. Oh god, that's horrible. Yeah, Mega Salamence is definitely just weak.
What if Metagross, but a TIE fighter?
While I enjoy the thought that Mega Metagross is just two Metagross stuck together, much like how Beldum and Matan...
I never thought about Metagross that way. Mega Metagross that way. Holy shit, I actually really like that idea. 8 out of 10. I was gonna say 7 as well, as I didn't have much to add on to it. But when you state it as two Metagross attached together, I actually love that idea. Now I give it an 8. Thank you,
canonically,
thank you, Dripson.
The design isn't doing anything for me in particular.
I didn't care for the red body accents on regular Kyogre, and the shades of yellow and orange look far better in my opinion.
Agreed. I generally have nothing to complain about with friggin' Primal Kyogre. That's just a good design. I like it.
A nice upgrade all around.
It's pretty.
The yellow and Primal Kyogre doesn't look all too bad.
I actually think Primal Groudon is a bit much. It loses a lot of the simple cool factor that made Groudon such a classic design.
I actually like the basic magma you can see going through its lines. I actually really like that design. It's fucking cool. Like it. 10 out of 10.
But all in all, it's still pretty good.
The fire typing and magma flowing throughout its body is a definite improvement of base Groudon for me.
They're trying too hard again.
This looks like it's about to ask for the Dragon Balls to grant me a wish or something.
You ruined my joke, Dripson. I was about to open up my fucking thing. About to open up my stupid voice changer and then go, I am the eternal dragon. But no, you just had to ruin my joke, Dripson. Thank you so much. Real talk, 7 out of 10. It's a nice design.
I don't know how Shenron works. I never watched Dragon Ball.
This is just Lopunny, but better in every single way.
Yeah, low punny, but it got slightly more sexier. 8 out of 10.
I actually really like the design changes when Lopunny Mega evolves.
I guess Mega Gallade looks kinda cool, but it's still fairly uninteresting.
And Mega Glade definitely improves with its arm blades now, and the cape. I think it definitely. I give this one a 7 out of 10. It's actually it's definitely better than Mega fucking Gardevoir.
Paradox Past, Iron Valiant.
Hey, Mega Audino actually looks pretty sweet.
Mega Audino, actually a really nice design. Could have been a regular evolution for Audino. Big question: why does it exist? Like, who looked at Audino and thought, yes, that needs to Mega Evolve. That thing needs a new evolution. Not just a regular evolution, a Mega Evolution. Because it needs that. Was Game Freak feeling pity for all the people who kept genociding Audino during their Gen 5 playthroughs? I don't know. Anyways, it's a very pretty design. I give it an 8 out of 10, I agree. Yeah, but it's pretty
Definitely different, but it makes for a nice comparison.
Mega Audino is pretty forgettable, especially since it loses its best ability in Regenerator upon Mega Evolution.
Mega Diancie is beautiful, and not too much of a change over its normal form, but enough to make it stand out for the better.
Agreed. That is a very beautiful ass design. I love it.
Much better than base Diancie, though a bit too busy to really be any higher.
And that's every Gen 6 Pokemon rating.
There we go.
Now let's take it over the Dripsin to break everything down.
Thanks, Cloud. As usual, let's first look at the running total of our average scores. Cloud's average total was 6.17, currently his lowest scoring generation.
Yeah, I was about
date.
to actually comment
As a quick note, his average for new Pokemon was 5.82, while for the Megas, it was 6.68. So the Megas clearly buoyed his score quite a bit. Meanwhile, my average total was 6.84, which makes this my highest scoring generation so far.
The irony.
I had an average score of 6.71 for the new Pokemon and 7.04 for the Megas, so while I did favor the new forms as well, I was overall more consistent. Out of 122 new Pokemon and forms from this generation, we gave 16 of them the same rating, the majority of which we agreed were fair to great. Next, let's look at our total score count from Gen 6, and there's some expected differences here. Cloud was far harsher, handing out plenty more scores of 1 through 4, while being a little more stingy with 8s and 9s. But I was more apt to award scores of 7 and 8, and less likely to dip below 6. Interestingly, we both handed out the same number of 10s, even though we couldn't agree on any of them.
Thanks, Dripsin. And now it's time for the awards honoring
Here
the
we
top,
go.
bottom, and middle of the road Pokemon from Gen 6. First, there's the award for best and worst starter lines based on the combined score of all Pokemon in that evolution line.
Fennekin
For
get
our
the best.
perfect partner award, we have Delphox.
Yeah,
So a
baby!
starter that captured both of our hearts. And interestingly enough, the Atrocious Ally Award goes to both the Chestnut and Greninja
Aw,
lines, with
poor-
most of the blame going
Poor Chestnut.
to their middle evolutions.
His
They didn't
mom's
have
a
a
fair
much
shot
lower
lover.
score overall
Not a
compared to
great
the
one this time
Delphox
for me.
line, but they just couldn't compare.
Now there's the
I mean, you know, that's your opinion. Well, that's the part where I was expecting Delph to get the worst. Delph got the best. Delph
awards
was
for the best and worst legendary, based on their combined score. The Mythical Masterpiece Award goes to Zygarde, whose unique color scheme and form won us over.
It's
And the
nice.
Fantastical Flop Award goes to Volcanion,
Yep. Fucking embarrassment, you.
who is just sort of a confusing mess.
Next, we have the awards for best and worst type, calculated by finding the average score of
I
all
wonder how well
Pokemon
Fairy
in
did
that
this
type.
generation.
Our Excellent Element Award goes to Fighting, which
Dang,
previously
okay,
lost
impressive.
in the Gen 2 ratings alongside Ice, but picked itself up for this generation. And the Catastrophic category goes to Water, a surprising type to take this award.
I was actually expecting... Milo? Did y'all fucking hear Milo just scream? Anyways, it's actually surprised Fairy didn't do that great. I was, let me see how Fairy did. Because I think with all the new Fairy types and them pushing it, and Fairy's just being, you know... I didn't really see that many negatives on Fairy types, exception to Romatisse. I thought Fairy would have, I thought Fairy would have taken one of the... had a chance at best.
Guess that's what happens when I award a 1 to 3 water types in a row.
Moving on to the awards for best and worst glow up.
Actually, worst type being water makes sense when you take Binacle into account. Never mind.
Done by finding the biggest improvements and de-improvements in our combined score from one Pokemon to another in its evolution line. To keep things simple, we're not considering Mega Evolutions for this award, since it's not a permanent evolution. Our terrific transformation this time is Greninja, improving over
That's good.
Frogadier by a factor of 8. Even though its line lost the Partner Award, it should be recognized for improving over its middle evolution. And the Metamorphic Mistake Award goes to 2 Pokemon this time, Frogadier and Aromatisse.
Yep, Aromatisse absolutely deserves that. Okay. I know I'm not canon to your review system, but can you just can you in post edit this video to make remove Frogadier from this so we can just make Aromatisse the absolute worst Pokemon of this generation?
Both losing 6 points compared
Okay.
to their previous Mons.
Hi, Kitty.
We've been in the habit of giving this award to the middle Pokemon in the same starter line, so it's no surprise to see Frogadier
Hi,
here.
Milo.
And Aromatisse just didn't impress us that much.
Let's move on to the Pokemon that Dripson and I disagreed on the most, and we've got a record number 6 Pokemon to award the contentious Critter Award to,
Skrelp?
all of which received a 7-point
Damn.
gap between us both. Braxian, Honedge, Malamar, Dragalge, Barbaracle, Mega Gyarados, and Mega Aerodactyl. That's quite a few Pokemon to disagree
Yep.
on, which speaks to our differing opinions on many of these creatures.
Especially
Next
this generation.
up, the awards for the best and worst antagonists, which as always
Alright, let's
includes
go.
rivals, gym leaders, elite
I
four
wonder
trainers,
if,
champions,
Morimoto is
and
gonna be
villain
here
team
again.
leaders based on the average score of their teams. Let's run through the usual rules. We're not counting duplicate Pokemon, only final encounters are judged where applicable, trainers must have at least 1 new Pokemon, super bosses only count if they're fought in the post-game, and no battle facility exclusive trainers. In the case of Gen 6, we're awarding 2 sets of awards.
Come on.
One for X and Y, and one for Omega Ruby and Alpha
That's it.
Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
For the latter, the same rules for new Pokemon apply, so only trainers who have a Mega Evolution on that team are eligible, which will include the Elite Four rematches. For X and Y, the Big Bad Boss Award goes to the champion Diantha. It's
Neat.
great to see a regional champion finally getting this award in the generation they're introduced in, considering Cynthia had to wait until Black and White.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can't have a battle theme as excellent as hers without living up to it in the fight. And the Bad Boss Award goes to the Elite Four's Wickstrom. The Steel type actually didn't do too badly in this generation, but any trainer who has a Probo Pass isn't going to win any favors.
Fun fact, as a kid, whenever I saw Wickstrom, I always thought I always hated him. I don't know why. He always looked like the kind of guy I wanted to punch in the face. I could not figure out why.
For Oras, the Big Bad Boss Award goes to Brendan and May if they have a Blaziken on their team.
Nice.
Thanks to Mega Blaziken,
Blaziken,
and the
not
other
to
Pokemon on their
scale.
team, your rivals have a pretty great selection this time. And fun fact, they also take the second spot with their Sceptile team variant. And the Bad Boss Award goes to Archie, who actually won the Big Bad Boss Award back in Gen 3, but sank himself, no pun intended, thanks to Mega Sharpedo and Muck.
Can we give him the redeeming factor for his fucking glow up in fashion? Dear lord, that man can riz the pants off me.
It should be noted that Archie's score is actually pretty high compared to the other Bad Boss Award winners, and considering he has a Crobat and Mightyena on his team, he's at least got some good team members.
And for Gen 6, we've got special awards for the best and worst Mega
Okay,
Evolutions,
let's
with
go.
both X and Y and Oras getting their own set of awards. For X and Y, the Magnificent Mega Award goes to 3 Mega forms, Charizard X, Ampharos, and
Based.
Blaziken.
All 3 of
We
those are
debated
the
on
fucking
giving Ampharos
peak.
the extra point thanks to that luscious hair, but in the end, the honor is going to these 3 excellent new forms.
Mm-hmm.
And the measly Mega Award goes to Manectric, who seriously needs a groomer stat. For
Yeah,
Oras,
that's
the
god-awful.
Magnificent Mega Award goes to Danshi, already a
Yep,
great
that's a
Pokemon
great
in its
design.
regular form. The Mega Evolution keeps many of the same
I'm not
traits
gonna
while
make it-
boosting it up significantly.
I'm giving Charizard
And the
my
measly
Charizard
Mega
to 0.
Award goes to Sharpedo, which suffered thanks to
Yeah,
some
that one's
questionable
very
design
bad.
choices.
And let's wrap it up with the Special Honors Awards.
Okay.
Although there's not a lot of excitement this time. The Hall of Fame would honor
so
Pokemon who
close to being
received a
done.
perfect score of 10 from both of us, but as we said earlier, we couldn't agree on any 10s this time. The Hall of Shame is reserved for Pokemon that received a score of 1 from both of us, but I didn't hand out a single one, so no one gets this special spot either. And the Hall of Tame is for those who received a score of 5 from both of us, and we do have 2 Pokemon to add here, Furfrou and Mega Medicham.
Well, that's all we have for Gen 6, and as a quick
Okay.
recap, here's all of our scores for this generation. I'm not familiar at all with X and Y, which has probably soured my opinion on many of the new creatures introduced in this game. I'm also sure that both my Gen 3 bias and having played Omega Ruby before, even if it was several years ago now, made me appreciate the Mega Evolutions a little more, especially the ones from Oras. Even though I wasn't as keen on many of these Pokemon, and Gen 6 had quite a few stinkers, there's still plenty of great creatures from this generation. And that's something I can appreciate, how even what I believe to be a rougher patch, there's still stuff to admire. So while I may not be as keen on Gen 6 as far as its Pokemon are concerned, there's still plenty of creativity on display, even if it's fewer and farther between.
Gen 6 is probably the generation of Pokemon that I have the most mixed feelings about. The games themselves aren't all that great, but this was the first time I was actively following Pokemon news of the new generation.
Yep.
Ranging from official reveals, speculation, and Koro leaks every month like clockwork. This was
Same, because this was the first generation I had actual constant internet access to. So, yeah, I was actually that same boat,
also
Dripson.
the generation that I really got into playing the game competitively, mostly because, during this time, I was in high school and had a
Those are
close
great,
friend
but
that
as
was
a
also
Nuzlocke?
into
Oh,
competitive
joy.
Pokemon battling. The Gen 6 games are also the oldest games I have never replayed. I've played through Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova at least twice each, meaning I really only have one playthrough of the game in my memory, and it's getting on 10 years old at this point. And
Yeah, I probably need to give
across
that
my
second
copy
shot
of
again.
Y and Alpha Sapphire, this may be the generation in which I've put in the most time. A lot of that going to competitive Pokemon battling in preparation for it, as well as getting extremely close to legitimately completing the Pokedex in these games, aided by my eventual modding of my 3DS through 2-packs, followed by web hacks. Another memory of Gen 6 Pokemon to me. Looking back, I do have a lot of positive thoughts about the Generation 6 games, even if most of them appear to be based around the community of the game and where my life was at the time, instead of the games themselves.
With all that said, if you like this video, leave a like and a comment, and subscribe to see more.
Let's go comment. We're gonna comment. There we go. So yeah, y'all should absolutely go subscribe and go watch CloudConnections' other content. As you see on screen, he did a Kirby Air Ride video recently, so y'all should absolutely go watch that. I'm gonna prepare us to go raid another channel. I hope y'all had a very, very good day. So I will see you all not tomorrow. Move my chat around. That was an accident. Let's grab the. So I will see you all on Saturday for more fucking Cyberpunk 2077. Tomorrow I'll be spending the afternoon with my sister. Saturday's Cyberpunk stream will be a bit later, as I will be mowing the yard that morning because I can't do it tomorrow. Doing stuff with my sister. So I hope you all had a very, very, very good day. I will see you all next time. And in the meantime, goodbye.